What are some important lessons or principles you've learned over the course of time that you like to implement in how you run your business?
It's so simple, and it's a struggle point that I found out for many people, from guys in the field to, I guess, business owners or entrepreneurs, is there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with talking to somebody who is levels ahead of you in life or in business, asking them what they did to get there. And then it's the craziest thing. It's so simple. Just do it. It's really that easy. I don't have all the answers. I don't. Most of what anybody that I know ahead of me or behind me do that is successful is they don't reinvent the wheel. They just follow the same processes that have worked for others, implement them into their business, and stay committed to it. Even through the hard times, because it's not you get rebranded. Like my buddy Danik Antonelli Kick Charges, who branded our company. You don't just get branded by them and then it's like you're going to win. You still have to put in the work. He can put a great engine together and put into your car, but you have to drive it.
This episode is brought to you by Pierre Tax and Accounting, led by CPA Eric Pierre, a seasoned accounting and tax expert with years of experience helping individuals and businesses navigate complex financial landscapes. Whether you need personal tax planning, business tax strategy, bookkeeping, or financial planning support, Eric and his team are committed to helping you protect and grow your financial future with clarity and confidence. To get expert guidance you can trust, check out Pierre Tax and Accounting at pierreaccounting.com. This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Builder's Bible. I'm joined by Cale Forester, who's the owner-founder of Maston's Plumbing and Drain. Cale and I got acquainted, I think, on Facebook and saw him posting about his business. So I was like, man, I've been on a tear with plumbers lately. I want to hear about his business. It looks like they're taking off and being very successful. And so I'm eager to chop it up with him here today. Cale, tell us how you got started. Tell us about the business a little bit.
Well, so I got started in 2021. Actually, I always tell people this too. I accidentally became a plumber. It was never actually a part of my plan. I went from homelessness and degradation to finding purpose and drive and success and becoming a plumbing professional. So I launched the business in 21. I ran my first service call in 22. I built it on what I found lacking in our industry and really with the purpose of well, I say purpose, but it was trying to build a company that represented what I found in my life, which was success, and trying to give that now to the younger generation of guys that don't have a purpose or aren't the college direction guys, so.
What's up, everybody? This episode is sponsored by Exitwise. If you're a business owner thinking about selling your company, whether that's now or years down the road, you need to know what your business is actually worth and how to maximize that exit. That's exactly what Exitwise does. They help you prepare, position, and ultimately sell your business by assembling a world-class team of M&A experts around you, guiding you from valuation all the way through closing. If you want to know what your business is really worth and how to increase that number before you sell, go check out exitwise.com and get ahead of it. I love that. Well, so where's the business at today? What are you guys doing in overall sales or employees or whatever you feel comfortable sharing about the size and scope of the company?
Oh, I mean, anything, so we're on pace we'll land anywhere between 4.5 and 6. I would like to 4.5 and 5. I'm shooting for 6, but with that requires proper recruitment, channeling and funneling guys in, building a training center. So we're trying to build our own plumbers. I don't really look to hire a license. I look to grow, a guy into the plumber that I would want to be employed for us. So that's where we're at on that. As far as growth right now, where we're at right now sitting, we've got 5 trucks on the field. Two sales, three sales guys, three installers, service manager, office staff, me doing the things that I do, which is mostly recruitment and marketing. That's where
I love
that's
that.
where I like to stay in.
You said there's a pretty big gap there between 4.5 and 6. What, is there like a big contract out there pending that you might come through, or what are we talking about there?
No, that's whenever I say that we're on pace to do 4.5, we'll land at 5. My goal is 6 because I want to double in revenue every year, right? But you can't get that if you don't have and I don't want to say bodies for it, staffing for it. And what I'm finding in the recruitment side of things is keeping a healthy flow with a low turnaround. I'm having to grow those guys because I refuse to hire like bad habits, like going after that license and just hiring another company's bad habits or poor workmanship or poor quality service or customer service side of things as well. So what I have positioned myself to kind of fall back on now is instead of shooting for the revenue goals, like doing it right, something that's sustainable and that can grow naturally, right? And with that comes a healthy, hard look at, okay, we're going to have to build these guys. So starting from zero. Even the guys that have 2-3 years of experience, we start them at zero and introduce them out to the field.
This episode is brought to you by 10X Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10X Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker. They only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by Rakowski Law Firm. If you're a business owner or have built a level of wealth, but you don't have your estate plan dialed in, you're exposed. Rakowski Law Firm helps families and business owners protect their assets, avoid probate, and make sure everything transfers exactly how it should. This isn't just paperwork. It's a real strategy to protect your legacy. If you haven't looked at your plan in a while or don't have one, go to rakowskilawfirm.com. Yeah, I love that. When people ask you what makes your company different, what do you normally tell them?
Customer service and actually training plumbers, not young kids reading a price book. That's really what's, out there right now. Just guys checking the box on a price book, and they have no understanding of what they're actually doing.
Yeah. And how much of your business, out of curiosity, I know you do you do HVAC as well?
No, we're strictly plumbing. 100%.
Strictly plumbing. Okay, I love that. Yeah, because all you guys seem to veer into each other's lanes. I feel like I've talked to a lot of HVAC guys that do some light plumbing and vice versa. So I love that you're just staying in your lane. And are you doing any commercial? Is it all residential?
We do light commercial. I'd say 5% commercial, and those are with a few trusted contracts. Like we hold a contract here locally, and I contract loosely. Kane's Ballroom is like a historical site here. We do all of their plumbing, and that's a commercial project. We have some investors that came up from Dallas, Texas, bought a facility, and they knew me through other channels. So we've been doing all their plumbing over there. But no, strategically and primarily, it's just residential service, 100%.
Yeah. Cale, what's going really well in your business right now? And then what are some challenges you guys are facing?
So the things that are going really well in our business right now is our marketing, right? I love our marketing company. I love the content that we're putting out. The jobs that we're taking on and performing and getting done are 100%. We're checking all the boxes for what we have coming in proper. Again, the struggle point is basically what I've referenced, is like now finding out as you're trying to scale and grow, the missing pieces is the recruitment. So we filled the void in that, and because I believe this. I heard I think Tommy Mello said it from the stage. I'm pretty sure. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but he said he'd hire the guy from a 5-star steak restaurant place because he's got great customer service, and that's kind of the viewpoint that I have now is hire for character, hire for customer service, and teach them plumbing. We can teach as a company anybody to be a plumber and how to do plumbing, but teaching you how to be a grown adult, good human being. All those things, those are spiritual attributes that I can't force people to do. Hopefully through osmosis, hanging around us and stuff, they get that good vibe. But yeah.
Well, I'm assuming it's an ongoing thing. I'm thinking about a buddy of mine who desperately needs a new career path. How long does it take for somebody to become like a plumber? Like before you'd send him out on a call on his own?
Oh gosh. Well, it depends on the guy. You know, do they have
Yeah.
a mechanical mindset? Do they have an ability to figure some things out?
Yeah.
There's a difference there between book smarts and just good old, country know-how, if you will. Figure
Yeah.
out, or go into a problem, figure a solution for it.
Yeah.
Traditionally speaking, you need 4 years here in Oklahoma anyway to get your journeyman's license. But getting your license doesn't make you a plumber either. It does to the state. You're a licensed journeyman. But I've seen guys that can go out and do work after 2 years.
Yeah.
Well adept at doing stuff, and you always start your guys out on small jobs. Fixtures, replacing fixtures, swapping out toilets.
Yeah.
Doing a repair flange before you just go and throw them out on a whole sewer line replacement or drain lines, water lines, and slabs and repipes. Those are, there's levels to it.
Yeah. So I'm going to double click on something you said earlier. So you said at one point you were homeless. So tell us how you kind of emerged from that challenging season of your life.
Well, so I always think that is a very important thing, because that's there's nothing special about me. I think that all humans have a capability within them that they often shut down and push aside and don't try. For me, it came about where, I had a bad substance abuse problem there for a long time and a lot of years. Various lists of reasons that I could go down a sheet about, but at the end of the day, the breaking point for me was the inability to come home anymore, not welcome back at my parents' house. My mom enabled me for years. I love her, not to a negative side of things. That was their baby boy. So wasn't allowed back and just kind of living on the streets of Tulsa. And I got picked up the last time by the cops and just came face to face with what my life had become. And I did the jailhouse prayer, giving it up to God, just take this stuff away from me and I'll change my life. And there's an internal thing that I think that clicks for some people, hopefully for everyone, but in those moments to where it's like when you truly have faced pain, degradation, and a distance from what you've been raised to. My dad's a good man. He raised a good son. He gave me morals and values and all the things. So by degradation, I mean, I left those things. I made decisions, to pull myself out of that. And I made a decision then that, if I was given an opportunity, I would turn this thing around. And the phone calls I used to make to my mom were begging her to come get me, bail me out. That last phone call I made to her was that I was probably going to go to prison, but I was okay. Don't come get me. And once I said that out loud to her, it seemed like a chain of events took place that just started to fall like in line with what I needed. So I tell people I didn't plan to become a plumber because my plan led me to homelessness. Something else kicked in and started working its plan in my life. And here we are. There's a lot of stops from there to here, but at the end of the day, that's kind of what took place.
Yeah, I love that. Switching gears, let's talk about AI for a second. How are you guys implementing it in your business?
So I love AI. AI, you got to check in on it. It doesn't. AI runs my business. You got to verify things, cross-reference, build out, make calls to friends that are higher levels in business than you are. But I mean, I just feed that thing so much data. It knows everybody that works for me, their job roles and positions. Because I spend about 20 minutes a night, every night, talking to AI. It's like my buddy. I've got to make time for that. I have inputted 4 years worth of customer history, average tickets, jobs sold, descriptions of work, zip codes, area codes. Zip codes, to find out what my target demographic is, who my model customer is, household median size income, all those things. And then just giving that, to my marketing teams or marketing channels, doing it in-house for myself, sending mailers out, things like that. I also created today with Claude is a new one that I got plugged into. This whole bid sheet. So now my sales teams and stuff, they have a bid sheet that they just input data into, and it knows all the margins.
Do you have anything agentic in your company, like an AI employee of any sort, a receptionist, a bookkeeper, a marketer, anything like that?
No, I haven't. I haven't given the helms over quite yet to do a full on having an AI personnel, in house like that. There is just still that level of oversight that like any owner, struggle with letting go of a lot of control. And I like someone that I can call.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Is there any sort of a life lesson, business principle, anything like that before we hopped on, you said you were in the waiting room reading a book, so I can tell you like to kind of keep learning. What are some important lessons or principles you've learned over the course of time that you like to implement in how you run your business?
It's so simple, and it's a struggle point that I found out for many people, from guys in the field to I guess business owners or entrepreneurs there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with talking to somebody who is levels ahead of you in life or in business, asking them what they did to get there. And then it's the craziest thing. It's so simple. Just do it.
Yeah.
It's really that easy. I don't have all the answers. I don't. Most of what anybody that I know ahead of me or behind me do that is successful is they don't reinvent the wheel. They just follow the same processes that have worked for others, implement them into their business and stay committed to it. Even through the hard times, because it's not you get rebranded. Like my buddy Dan Antonelli Kick Charges, who branded our company. You don't just get branded by them and then it's like, you're going to win. You still have to put in the work. He can put a great engine together and put into your car, but you have to drive it.
Yeah. He seems to have quite I see him all the time on Facebook. He seems to really have his foot in the door with this industry. It's kind of crazy, actually.
Dan's the man. I talk to him often. He's a good friend. He's been a good mentor to me also. I consider him a unofficial business partner, him and his company. And he's just, he's definitely been somebody that I would model my life after for sure.
I love that. What's something we haven't talked about today that gets you fired up? Could be a hot take, could be something completely unrelated to business.
Health and fitness, man. Health and fitness. If you can get, and you're talking about reading this book, I didn't take it as an insult, and I'm still choosing not to, because we make choices. But I got suggested to read this by by the recruiter people that we use. It's called the chimp paradox. They very oversimplify the human mind in this book, breaking it down to like just 2 or 3 parts. And there's a chimp brain and a human brain. And they're having me read it because you can't have like emotional outbursts. You got to stay focused on the human mind, things like that. So when people identify something about me that seems to be off, I listen. I don't shut it down. I'll listen to it. If you have a good suggestion or an idea that I'm open to, I'm gonna research that. Yeah. So they suggest that. Not only did they suggest it, they sent it to me. So I could have easily chosen not to read this book. I'm choosing to read this book. To hope to learn more. Feed the mental, feed the physical, feed the spiritual. All else will follow. The financial is part of that, but it falls into place if you're doing the other 3 things. And you have to stay dedicated to them. You get unbalanced.
I love that. Well, Cale, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. If people want to learn more about who you are and what you do, where can they go?
Oh, I'm on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. You can hit me up on Messenger. If you're another plumber in the community, you got better ideas than me, please hit me up. If you want some of the ones that I've used, please hit me up. I'm about networking and stuff, and just, I like to see plumbers win.
I love that, man. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep talking, but thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, brother.